Hi everyone, I hope you're keeping well. I'm Robin, the newest member of Logitech's Digital Task Force. Throughout this presentation, I will offer a new digital initiative that we can incorporate within our current operations. The primary goal of this new initiative will be to deliver on specific UNSDGs. For those who are unaware, the UNSDGs are a set of 17 goals defined by the UN, which can be used to tackle specific economic, social and environmental issues. By constructing our new initiative with these goals in mind, we will be able to bring value to our organization but also simultaneously better the planet as a whole. This presentation will be split into three interconnecting sections, the first of which being general wider research about Logitech and the industry as a whole, the second of which being an evaluation of Logitech's current performance towards meeting the SDGs, and the final one being an explanation of my newly proposed digital initiative. Prior to delving into our current operations here at Logitech, I wanted to gain a much broader understanding of the technology manufacturing industry as a whole. Throughout my research, I have identified two critical indicators dictating current concerns within the industry. The first of which being that 66% of technology manufacturers are experiencing rising labor costs, and the second of which being that 60% of manufacturers have been facing increased material costs. As a consequence of rising labor costs, the industry has followed in the footsteps of the automotive industry and has begun to incorporate more robotics and automated processes. Where human labor was previously used, companies have been programming robots to automate certain parts of their production. Firms who have been utilizing robotics have observed reduced labor costs, improved productivity, and resource conservation. When utilizing automation, though, however, there are certain socio-economic factors to consider. For example, job displacement, which can cause further challenges and hinder progress related to UN SDGs. Additionally, another key trend within the technology industry is the minimization of e-waste. Essentially, e-waste refers to the unsafe disposal of electronic goods that have become dysfunctional. Improper disposal of these devices can be incredibly harmful to the environment, as they can contain many toxic substances. Therefore, manufacturers have been imploring their customers to sensibly discard of their items after use. Additionally, manufacturing companies can also recycle electronics for precious metals instead of having to further extract more raw materials. Consequently, as per a growing concern by customers for the environment, the industry has been adopting more practices to reduce their negative impact. Furthermore, referring to the statistic shown earlier, by recycling materials, companies can save money on growing material costs. Now that we have assessed some of the primary trends and technologies used within the industry, I would like to take a look at an example of an SDG-led digital initiative launched by one of our key competitors, Razer. For those unfamiliar, the company Razer is a key competitor to Logitech. They are also within the technology manufacturing industry and specialize within the development of computer peripherals just like us. It should be noted though, however, that they have different philosophy to us and they have different products to offer. For example, Logitech offers a range of products catering to many different technological applications, whereas Razer is mainly focused on the video games market. Razer's most recent UN SDG-led digital initiative is called Restorify. Restorify is an innovative carbon-neutral shopping cart extension which empowers customers to easily assess the environmental consequences of their purchases. By providing details about a product's anticipated carbon footprint, consumers can now make informed decisions aligned with their sustainability goals. Additionally, shoppers will have the opportunity to actively reduce their impact by purchasing digital carbon credits during the checkout process. Those who acquire these credits will receive a comprehensive certificate displaying the amount of carbon emissions they have helped mitigate, the project's name and the location, and a certificate standard for the product that they have purchased. This transparency will establish a tangible connection for customers and their positive environmental impact. It's worth noting that Restorify also works by partnering with AWS to extend its platform to 100,000 collaborators over 150 countries. Now we will go on to assess Logitech. As we have stated, Logitech is a place within the technology manufacturing industry itself, and we specialize in the development of computer input and output peripherals. Our products are catered to a multitude of different users, such as gamers, musicians, video editors, and more. 85% of the business that we provide comes from our retail sales, whereas the remainder comes from our OEM department. Taking figures from Logitech's recent financial reports, I've constructed a data visualization highlighting where the majority of our revenues come from. From this visualization, we can infer that we are quite diverse, however our primary revenue generators are in gaming and business. The first of our initiatives I would like to talk about would be our e-waste management awareness campaign. Aligning with current industry trends, one of Logitech's key initiatives is to drive positive impact related to UNSDGs in our management of e-waste. We will go over a video now created by my colleague highlighting the issues of e-waste and ways we are trying to tackle it.
About 20% of global e-waste gets recycled, which means some 36 million tons of electronics are dumped or improperly handled each year, leading to ground contamination, polluted water and air, and piles of potentially toxic trash. It's critical to get e-waste out of the trash and into recycling. Recycling helps conserve resources, since e-waste components can be used as materials for new products. It also conserves energy, since recycling materials from e-waste requires far less energy than extracting resources from the environment. And recycling activities can boost local economies by creating jobs. To recycle electronics, take them to your nearest recycling centre or drop-off location. From there, they will be sorted, broken down to reclaim reusable materials, and managed to safely dispose of hazardous components.
As we have seen in the video, recycling materials so they aren't improperly disposed of can contribute to our efforts to meeting SDG 15 Life on Land, specifically Target 15.1, the protection of terrestrial ecosystems, which can be assessed by the indicator 15.1.1, which tracks the proportion of important sites that are protected. Additionally, it also meets SDG 13, climate change action, as we reduce now our raw material extraction, we can also contribute to lower greenhouse gas emission. Currently, Logitech utilizes websites and social media as digital technology to promote our e-waste management campaign. On our website, under the sustainability header, the website will provide information about the importance of recycling e-waste, and additionally, a platform for consumers to locate local e-waste recycling centers through the cooperation of Recycle Now. Users can input their home location and will be provided with e-waste recycling centers within their vicinity. Through these current initiatives, they are a good start. However, surveys indicate a further need to drastically raise awareness about the importance of e-waste recycling. Only 8% of respondents in a survey were aware of the negative impacts of e-waste, and though 91% of the survey participants said they had a end-of-life product, only 1.5% actually went on to recycle their devices. The main reason cited for not going through with the recycling was A, poor incentives, B, a lack of convenience, and C, not trusting that the products are actually being recycled. These findings can also be corroborated with a general study for reasons that people do not recycle, hence further triangulating and proving the importance of these issues to get more consumers on board to recycle their products. Our secondary current initiative is promotion of digital inclusion. Our organization places a high priority on equality, and we go on great lengths to ensure that everything is made equal for all and fair, accessible and inclusive. One way we do so is through our support of gender-inclusive STEM education. The pushing of STEM education by Logitech helps us achieve SDG 4, quality education for all, and going deeper we are referring to SDG 4.5, the goal to eliminate gender disparities in education. To track this progress, we use SDG 4.5.1 indicator to use parity indices for men and women in STEM education programs. Specifically, we're aiming to widen the access to coding for young women. There is a great disparity in the number of female software engineers within the tech industry and also an evident gender pay gap. Through working with women who master coding, we are trying to collaborate with young successful females in STEM to gain insights on how to succeed in the field. We have been working and utilizing modern technologies to achieve these goals, such as social media platforms and popular video conferencing apps. Social media platforms allow for the large-scale dissemination of this information, and through conferencing we can gain real-time interaction and community support between our young admiring STEM professionals and women who want access to the field. Following on from our prior research, we will conduct a trip analysis of Logitech for its now as is state. This will provide us with a measure of our current innovation in relation to the SDGs. Specifically, we'll be assessing the company on 4 metrics: transparency, responsiveness, intelligence, and personalization. As an organization, we have a transparency rating of 4.3 out of 5, and it's one of our many company strengths. We always pride ourselves on looking after the planet and society. As outlined in our impact and sustainability reports, who aim to meet specific UN SDGs in these areas and are always open about our progress. Though we heavily invest and care a lot about helping to fight against these issues and SDG challenges, for example our philanthropy initiatives, most of our current initiatives do not make use of digital technologies. Therefore, there is a gap for further advancement here by taking advantage of new technologies to support more people. Another of our company strengths is our responsiveness rating, which is at 4 out of 5. At Logitech, we currently offer global sustainability teams and social impact teams within our global strategy. Both groups are committed to empowering and educating every employee across the business to our main goal of motivating customers and employees to be sustainable at all times. As you can see from the diagram here, all proposed business operations need to align with our future SDG strategy and be approved by the sustainability and social impact teams before being moved to operational heads and directors. Additionally, as seen prior, Logitech collaborates with a large amount of charities and non-profits. Through these collaborations, we also make efforts to bolster our progress towards the SDGs. So Logitech has been given an intelligence rating of 3 out of 5. And out of the whole trip, this is our biggest weakness. Here at Logitech, we are constantly updating our recorded facts and figures through general means and surveys. We will always publish our recordings in our reports and press releases to a high level of detail, but I believe that we can make further progress by leveraging business intelligence software and data analytics. Therefore, this will allow us to find certain opportunities for improvements based on our data. We are relatively good at reporting, however there is a gap to utilize this data better, especially to track the effectiveness of our initiatives. Finally, our personalization rating is at 3.7 out of 5, which is not too bad, but there still is room for improvement. In terms of personalization, when it comes to SDG focused initiatives, there is a level of variation in our ability to meet specific citizen needs. For example, with women in coding initiatives, we managed to meet and exceed our expectations set by the students. However, for e-waste management, as per customer engagement, they were struggling to meet customer needs in terms of initiatives and opportunities for recycling. Finally, we'll move on to opportunity identification and our initiative proposal. E-waste and recycling are already a main concern for the company that aligns with our SDG goals. As previously identified, there are certain issues causing low recycling numbers. Therefore, with this information in mind and our trip analysis highlighting areas for improvement, I believe we can incorporate a new digital initiative to solve these problems. Here we will go through our process map for the creation of our new initiative. The process map will be split into 3 stages. At first, we have the consideration stage, where we are just identifying the current recycling process for customers. We have identified that only a very low portion of the customer base is actually recycling the e-waste, and the main reasons why consumers said their recycling was to protect the environment and ensure that the data does not get in the wrong hands after disposal. Additionally, these were also the main incentives as well, as we can see. Now we will move on to the purchase conversion stage of our process map. From our prior research, our new initiative needs to address 4 main issues. Number 1, transparency about how and where the product is recycled. Number 2, awareness about the importance of e-waste recycling. Number 3, provide convenient opportunities for customers to recycle. And number 4, offer enticing incentives. To address these issues, I propose that we take the Logitech G Hub software and revamp it to include a recycling section. The Logitech G Hub software is a software that users download whenever they buy a Logitech device to manage its settings, access the community page, and gain access to the Logitech store as well. I believe that within this software, we should integrate a new recycling section to spread positive recycling awareness, schedule item pickups, and offer incentives and information about recycled items. By recycling awareness, I mean that we should have it integrated within the community page, more so that customers can be made more aware of it, as opposed to having to go directly to the website. In terms of item pickups, I believe that the software should have a item pickup scheduler where our direct-to-consumer delivery vans can, once they are delivering items to customers, they can simultaneously pick up items for recycling at the same time. And finally, in terms of sensitive information, I believe that should be integrated within the section of the recycling information. So whenever a customer has recycled an item, it has the item should have an RFID tag. That RFID tag will provide the customer with the location and information about the item that they have recycled, what's being used for recycling and how it was recycled and where it was recycled. And then from there, based on its recycling usage, the customer will be offered a financial incentive. Lastly, we'll move on to our outcomes and benefits stage. If all goes to plan, the platform should hopefully increase environmental consciousness of the need to recycle e-waste and ultimately get more customers involved to do so. In turn, this will aid us by reaching our target of protecting the environment, Life on Land SDG, while simultaneously bringing value to the organization by reducing our material resource costs, as we can use recycled materials instead. As you can see now, this will alter our trip analysis. The new initiative will improve transparency, stating how products are recycled, increase personalization, customers will receive reports on their recycled items, and higher intelligence. We can utilize data gained from the platform through customer interaction as to how to improve our recycling numbers. Post implementation of our new digital initiative, as we have addressed issues regarding transparency and intelligence, but also improved personalization and responsiveness, we can see now that our new trip analysis has improved UNSDG led innovation all across the board, which was our main goal in the beginning as is. So thank you for taking the time to listen to my presentation. I hope you've learned a lot about the UN SDGs and how we can utilize digital technology to bring value to the organization, but also the world. Please reach out to me if you have any questions, and I hope to collaborate with you on this project in the future. Thank you. Goodbye.